Joining me now, three of my favorite radio talk show hosts in all the country. In Portland, Oregon, from KXL and Westwood One, Lars Larson. Lars, good to have you with us. Here in New York, the host of the morning show on WWRL, CNN contributor Errol Louis. Good to have you with us, Errol.
Good to see you, Brother Lou.
And from WOR
Brother Lou.
New York, friend and colleague as well, John Gambling. Good to see you, John. Let's start with the address tonight and what you expect, John, from the president. We're told early on that it's going to be a realistic assessment, but we're also going to hear maybe a return to the rhetoric of hope from the president.
Well, I think that's certainly welcomed on every front. This whole thing is weighing down on everybody at every turn. I certainly hope that the president will do that. I think, however, what we are told we are going to hear tonight about reducing the deficit by the end of his presidency, the first term of his presidency, from what, 1.3 trillion to 530 whatever billion dollars it might be, I think it's somewhat schizophrenic. Here we are, we have pumped $2 trillion into this economy to stimulate it, whether it is foreclosure, TARP, whatever it might be, and now he wants to ratchet back the dollars, that he wants to take dollars out of the economy that would otherwise be a stimulus aspect.
What do you think, Errol?
Well, that's right. I mean, the reality is, as I've said here on this show, stimulus is about spending. And those who turn into deficit hawks all of a sudden, or who use as an excuse to oppose the package, he's now trying to sort of make up some ground with them. And I think what he is emphasizing, what the pro-stimulus people have said all along, is that this is temporary. This is not about trying to create jobs that are going to last 20 years. It's about trying to get through the next 24 months.
Lars?
Lou, this is the guy who promises he's going on a diet tomorrow, but tonight he's having a big piece of chocolate cake. I mean, I like food
That sounds like my kind of diet.
Works for me.
Exactly. I mean, but it doesn't make any sense. Spend all this money, sink us into debt. And I admit the Bush administration did the same thing, but this is on a scale that Americans have never seen before. And the president needs tonight, I guess, to start putting a happy face on things. He went from the hope and change candidate to the doom and gloom president. I guess now we go back the other direction.
Yeah, I've been saying he sounds Bushian. I mean, from September, we've had President Bush up until January 20th and President Obama talking down the economy, talking down the markets. I want to say just enough already. We know we got a problem. How about some solutions?
You might have seen that just today on Wall Street after Bernanke talked about maybe this thing is going to end or start to end by the end of the year, and the market went up, what, 235, 250.
So we're going to be back with our panel in just a moment. We're back with our panel now. I want to go out to Lars Larson. Lars, I mean, the president's poll ratings are just plummeting here. He's gone below 60% for the first time in his 5 weeks in office. What do you make of it, Lars?
The fact is, Americans are discovering buyer's remorse. They're realizing that the man who sold them on hope and change, and it was a great sales pitch. The problem was a lot of us were saying, and you were too, Lou, what in the world is behind the slogans, and there wasn't much back there. And I think we're realizing that now, and now that message is spreading beyond, you know, the conservative talk show hosts out to the mainstream of America. They're saying there isn't anything here.
Well, I think the conservative talk show hosts have been, and you gentlemen know very well, going at this 24/7 since the day after the inauguration. And I'd be surprised if the numbers didn't change. You've got this full-throated cry, people making these wild accusations about a Marxist takeover of the government and everything's going to hell in a handbasket.
We're saying Marxist, it's a socialist takeover.
Well, excuse me.
Started by President George W. Bush.
Indeed. And, you know, at some point he's got to answer back. Tonight, I think, is going to be part of how he starts to fight back.
Are you blaming us conservative talk show hosts for the decline to move the meter on the President of the United States?
You guys are very
might have something
I'm
to do
kind of hurt because I'm an independent from that.
It might have something to do with the fact that he said one thing during the campaign and he's had to go 180 degrees the other way.
Gentlemen, we got to go. Appreciate you all being here. Lars, thank you very much. Errol, thank you. John, thank you.
My friend.
See you in the morning, or I'll hear you in the morning. Tonight's poll results, 89% of you say it's time for the president to shut down the rhetoric of fear and start focusing on the positive steps to economic recovery. Jerry in Illinois said, what are the three branches of our federal government giving up during our economic crisis? The president says we all have to tighten our belts. Are they tightening their belts? No, they added 150,000 jobs, in point of fact, over the past year, while the private sector gave up nearly 4 million jobs. David in Montana, thank you for being the voice of reason. No one else on TV attempts to critique all political ideals. The whole left-wing, right-wing thing is obnoxious. Why can't we just be Americans? We are, and it's time we all started remembering that. Gary in Ohio, my country is under attack on all fronts. The First and Second Amendments, our borders, our money. When does it all end? When we decide it ends. And Carrie in Georgia, Lou, we appreciate the reporting you do to keep us informed on issues that other media outlets ignore. Walt in Minnesota said the border problem is the failure of the government to secure the border. If they're serious about protecting the American public, why can't the E-Verify program be supported by Congress? Because it's so effective in stopping illegal immigration. And that is the truth. Send us your thoughts to LouDobbs.com. And a reminder to join me on the radio Monday through Fridays for the Lou Dobbs Show. Go to Lou Dobbs Radio to get the local listings in your area for the Lou Dobbs Show, and then join John Gambling and me on WOR Monday through Friday, morning and afternoons. I mean, we got it covered, don't we, John? Thanks for joining us. We'll see you later. For all of us here, thank you for watching, and goodbye from New York.